Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to look half Korean. I've seen a handful of videos online showing how you can look half Asian or even half Japanese. So I thought I'd show you my version of how to look more Korean. First off, I'm going to apply a CC cream to my entire face, which is from IT Cosmetics. Normally people associate being half Korean with having very light skin. In actuality, however, half Koreans can have many different skin tones. This is because half Korean doesn't just mean half white. You can be half Korean and half black, for instance, half South Asian, half Southeast Asian, or any other race or ethnicity. In fact, the majority of half Koreans in Korea are not half white, but half Chinese or Southeast Asian, in case you didn't know. So painting yourself a lighter color to look half Korean isn't accurate at all. My skin color used to be darker too, but after staying out of the sun for quite a while, never going out and being a vampire, my skin is much lighter. Plus I use whitening skincare products on occasion. Not because I want to, but because most Korean skincare products usually contain some whitening element to it. So there's no need to lighten your skin in order to look half Korean. Half Koreans can have many different skin tones, so keep that in mind. Now I'm going to move on to eyeshadow. I'm using this palette right here from Makeup Geek. All of these shadows inside this palette cost $36 total. The first shade I'm going to use is Aphrodite, which is a deep plum brown color. The entire pan costs around $6. Then just working that in. A lot of half Koreans are stereotyped as being very attractive, so I'm trying to make my eyes look more alluring. In the Korean media, you can often see them as models or actors and tend to make a lot of money. In actuality, however, half Koreans growing up in South Korea were often very poor. When South Korea was formed, Korean nationalism was based on how pure your blood was. This belief was called Minsooky, where only people who were purely Korean were only welcome in Korea. If you were mixed, however, like me, you were considered the lowest class and faced a lot of discrimination. The first president of South Korea even called half Koreans garbage that needed to be removed, even if it meant throwing them into the ocean. Of course, he said this while married to his wife, who was from Austria, so she wasn't Korean herself. Yet children who were mixed were not welcome in Korea. Now, because of this belief, a lot of half Koreans grew up poor. They were also unable to go to school as long as people who were more pure-blooded as well, and therefore really limited their ability to make money, or even have a good life, or a decent life. Many were usually given up for adoption to American families as well. This continued on for decades. In fact, many of them lived in Minnesota, where I grew up. For the women who did not choose adoption, however, for their children, they did face a lot of discrimination and violence. Some of them were stoned or abused. In one instance, a mother was hanged by her grandfather and uncles because they were so outraged. This happened as the child watched as well. In many cases, the mothers have to immigrate to give their children a better life. This is why so many half Koreans live in America and not in Korea. There's Heinz Ward, for instance, who was born 10 years before me. His mother faced a lot of discrimination because of her child, so he grew up in America. I too grew up in America, in Minnesota. Recently, I've had my photos stolen by K-pop fans pretending to be half Korean. They steal my photos not because they want to be half Korean though, but because they want to pretend to look like one. So here I'm going to add a cross onto my face using black eyeliner. I'm being very careful here to draw it out. Usually people try to look half Korean by still doing what they think is stereotypical Korean makeup. But in fact, half Koreans are very diverse and like different looks or makeup trends. Now, I don't talk about K-pop very often or show interest in K-dramas. And while I do like Korean makeup, I usually don't do my makeup that way. But I'm still Korean. Being Korean, after all, isn't just about the way you look. It's about your history, your culture, and much, much more. So if you want to look half Korean, first you need to be half Korean. After all, half Korean doesn't have a singular look. It's comprised of many looks. Because being half Korean is very complex.